Hello mga ka-Johnny! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Again, this is Sir Raubensun, your partner in learning mathematics. Welcome to my YouTube channel, but before you proceed in this video, do not forget to click the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if my video helps you. Okay, so in this video, we are going to learn about different kinds of interest. The question is, what is interest? Interest is the fee or payment that you need to pay for the use of money or every time you borrowed money. That is the definition of interest. One kind or one type of interest is what you call simple interest. What is simple interest? In a simple interest, that is the kind of interest usually used in a short period of time, or in the time of 1 year, 9 months, 3 months, or shorter than that. That is how the simple interest works. So in this video, let's try to solve some examples including simple interest. Okay, let's start solving example number 1. What if you borrowed money worth 25,000 pesos, and the time that you have to pay that money is 2 1/4 years, and there is an interest rate at 8%. So meaning how the simple interest works. In solving a simple interest problem, this how it goes. Okay, you are going to use this simple formula, that is I, P, R, T. So let's define each letters in this formula, I, P, R, T. When you say I, that is the interest amount, meaning that is the additional amount that you have to add in the money that you borrowed. Okay? When you say P, that is the principal or the principal amount. What is the definition of principal amount? Principal amount, that is the amount you borrowed. Okay? So in my example, the principal amount or the money that I borrowed is 25,000 pesos. That is principal amount. What is a small letter R? Small letter R, or that means rate, that is the percentage increased in your money borrowed. Okay? What is small letter T here? Small letter T, that refers to time. Meaning, how long are you going to pay the money that you borrowed? In my example, the time is 2 1/4 years. Okay? But before you proceed in solving this problem, take note that time here, or the time in your example, every time you use the concept of simple interest, it refers always in years. Okay? It always referring to years. Do not forget that one, that every time you use this formula, make it sure that your time here is always in years. Do not use months and other than that. In my example, my time is in years already, so there's no need to convert everything, but we need to solve it directly. That is the formula of our simple interest. I, P, R, T. I, interest amount, the additional amount that is added to the amount that you borrowed. P is the principal amount, or in short, the amount that you borrowed. R is the rate, include the percentage rate added to the amount that you borrowed. And the T here, that is the time. How long are you going to pay the amount that you borrowed? And take note, time here should always be in years. Okay, without further ado, let's solve example number 1. What if I borrowed a money worth 25,000, and to pay this 25,000, including the interest amount, I have to pay that one within 2 years. And the rate, or the interest rate added to the money that I borrowed, that is 8%. Okay, so again and again in solving simple interest, the problem or the formula should involve this one. That is again I, P, PRT. But before solving everything using IPRT, let's identify what are my given. Okay? So let's identify what is my P, or again, what is P? That is principal amount, or in short, the amount that you borrowed. In this example, what is my principal amount? My principal amount is 25,000 pesos. Therefore, my P here is 25,000. Okay? What is my small letter R? Small letter R, that is the rate, or the interest rate added. And obviously, in the problem that involves percentage, that is automatically your rate. Okay? In this example, my rate is 8%. And obviously, my rate is in percentage form. You have to convert that one into decimal by dividing this one into 100. So 8% divided by the 100, that is equivalent to 0.08. Again, every time you involve rate, you have to convert that one into decimal. Okay, so let's identify my T. Well, how long do I need to pay the money? I have to pay that one within 2 years. Therefore, my time here is 2 years. Take note, the unit of my time is years, so there's no need to convert everything for the time. Okay? So I already have P, R, and T. So therefore, I am ready in finding my interest, or interest amount. So after you identify all the elements needed in solving your interest amount, so you can now proceed. So now, that is simply substituting all the values of your PRT to your formula. And take note, since they are all together, merged together, the operation used in this formula is multiplication. So therefore, you have to multiply P times R times T. So what is my P? My P here is 25,000 multiplied to R. What is my R? That is 0.08. Again, you have to use the rate for the decimal form. Okay? What is my time? My time is 2 years. Okay, so you are done substituting the value of all the variables needed. So after substituting, you have to multiply all the elements. Okay, you have to multiply 25,000 times 0.08 times 2. Of course, in solving that one, you need a calculator. Okay, every time you solve interest, make it sure that you have a calculator beside you. So I'll get my calculator. Okay, here is my calculator. Let's try to solve that one. That is 25,000 multiplied to 0.08 times 2. That is 4,000. So 4,000 now is the interest amount, or in layman's term, that is the additional amount that is added to the amount that you borrowed. Okay, so since the interest is 4,000, what is now the total amount that I have to pay after 2 years? How are you going to get that one? So meaning, that is now what we call the maturity value. What is maturity value? That is the amount that you borrowed plus the interest on it. Meaning, the amount added to the amount that you borrowed. That is the maturity value. What is 4,000 again here? 4,000 is not the maturity value. That is your interest amount. That is added to your principal amount. So how are we going to find the interest the maturity value? Again, what is maturity value? That is the amount, the total amount that you have to pay at the end of 2 years. Okay, let me erase this part for you. Okay, so let's try to find the maturity value. So let's use these following variables, M, V for maturity value. How to find maturity value now? Maturity value, that is simply the principal amount, or the amount that you borrowed, plus the interest amount. We all know that in this problem, we already get the our interest amount, and we also have the P, which is the amount that you borrowed. So meaning, what is P? Your P here is 25,000 plus the interest, which is, the interest now here is 4,000. So in short, get the sum, that is 29,000 pesos. So meaning, 29,000 pesos is the total amount, or in the business world, it is called maturity value. So meaning you have to pay 29,000 at the end of 2 years. So that's how the concept of simple interest works. Okay? Again, 4,000 is the interest amount, 29,000 is the total amount, or the maturity value, or the total amount that you have to pay at the end of 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, that is example number 1. Okay, let's solve example number 2. For example number 2, the problem is find the amount of SPR, simple interest, on a loan of 13,400 for 1 2/3 years at 8 3/4% per year. So let's try to solve it one. And very obvious, this problem is only simple interest. Again, what is simple interest? Simple interest, that is in the formula of IPRT. So before that one, let's identify the important variables given in this problem. Do we have the P, or the principal amount? Yes, that is the loan, which is worth 13,400. So automatically, my P here is 13,400. Okay, and let's try to find my R, or the rate, which in the problem is my rate. Okay, obviously the one that has a percentage sign. So that is 8 3/4 years. So meaning that is 8 3/4%. That is my rate. Again, in identifying the rate, just find the number which has a percentage sign. Okay, so that is my rate. So now let's find the time. What is the time here? Very obvious. 1 2/3 years. Okay, so that is my time. So in this example, I have P, R, and T. So obviously, I have to find the interest, or the simple interest amount only. Okay, so let's try to solve this one. This is now, what is my principal amount? That is 13,400. What is my rate here? And obviously, my rate is a whole number plus a fraction, or in short, a mixed fraction. Okay? Again, how are we going to convert this one? We have, this is equivalent to 3/4. We have to convert this one into decimal. So that, what are we going to do is, we have to multiply 4 times 8, that is 32. 32 plus 5, that is, plus 3, that is 35. Okay, over 4. Just copy the denominator and divide that 1. That is 35 divided by 4. That is 8.75. In short, 8 3/4% is equivalent to 8.75%. Since we need a decimal in our problem, we have to divide this one by 100. So meaning, divided by 100, that is 0.0875. 0.0875. So that is the equivalent for 8 3/4%. Again, what we did is, for denominator, multiply to your whole number, that's 32 plus 3, that is 35. Copy the denominator and divide it 1, that is 8.75%. Since we need a decimal, we have to divide it 1 by 100. So that is 0.0875. Okay, so I raised the solution now. So because I need more space in solving this problem. Okay, so meaning 8 3/4% is equivalent to 0.0875. Okay, so I already have the principal amount here, that is 13,400. The rate now, or the R here in decimal form, that is 0.0875. And what is my years? My time rather. The time here is already in years, so just copy this one. That is 1 and 2/3 years. Okay, so meaning this is the step in substituting everything into the formula. After that one, you have to multiply everything. Okay, so since this is in the mixed fraction, let's disregard it first. Let's multiply at 1, that is 13,400 multiply to 0.0875, that is now 11,000, no, that is 1,172.5 multiplied to 1 and 2/3. Okay, so since that is 1 and 2/3, you can use your calculator in multiplying that one directly. But to make it even clearer, let's convert it one into that is improper fraction. That is equivalent to now 1,172.5. 3 times 1, that is 3 plus 2, that is 5. So that is 5/3. Copy the denominator, meaning 1 and 2/3 years is equivalent to 5/3 years. So after that one, 1,172.5, you have to multiply that one to your numerator and divide to your denominator. So this one multiplied to 5 times 5, no, that is 1,172.5 times 5 divided by 3. That is equivalent now to 1,954.166667. So let's try to convert in the nearest hundreds. That is 1.17. So therefore, this is now the interest amount, or the simple interest amount in solving this problem. So I have to add 1,954.17 to the money that I borrowed in order to pay my loan exactly. So again, this is example number 2. Okay, hello again. So in my previous examples, I solved a problem wherein the time is in years already. What if we are going to find the simple interest given only shorter than a year? Okay, so example in this, how much is the simple interest, rather simple interest is the simple interest amount on 7,600 for 7 months at 7.5%. So let's find the simple interest, same formula, IPRT. So what is principal? The amount that I borrowed, that is 17,600. That is P, 17,600. What is my R, or the rate? That is 7.5%, or in decimal, that is divided by 100, that is 0.075. And what is my time? My time here is 7 months. Again, as what I told you earlier, that you have to solve simple interest only whenever the time is in years. Do not substitute it directly here, because your formula will assume that that is good for 7 years, where in fact the problem is only good for 7 months. How are we going to deal this kind of problem whenever the time is in months form? What are you going to do is to convert this months into years. How? By simply dividing how many months in a year. We believe that we have January, February, March, April until December. That's a total of 12 months. Meaning, the given months must be divided into how many months in a year. So that is 7 divided by 12. So meaning, 7 divided by 12 years. So meaning, 7 months is in month form. By dividing this one into 12, that is 7/12 years. So meaning, we are going to use this one. Okay? Again, if the given is year, a month, you have to divide it by 12. Why 12? Simply because we have 12 months in 1 year. That's how we deal problems involving months as a time. Again, do not substitute it directly to your t because the formula assume that the value you input is in years already. Okay? So after converting everything, you are now ready in solving the simple interest amount. So now let's try to substitute everything. What is my P, or the principal amount? That is 17,600. I have to multiply that 1 to 7 to my rate, which is 0.75, 0.075, and multiply to my time, not 7, but the 7 over 12. That is 7 over 12. Okay? So, after doing that one, you get your calculator in solving that one. Okay, let's try to solve that one. That is 17,600 multiplied to 0.075. That is 1,320 or 1,320. And I have to multiply that one to 7 over 12. So, simply, this one multiplied to your numerator, which is 7, and divided by to your denominator, which is 12. Therefore, the interest is 770 pesos. Okay, so the interest now here that you are going to add in your value is 770 pesos. So this is how the simple interest works whenever the time given is in months. Again, once the months isn't given, you have to divide it one by 12. Why 12? Simply because we have 12 months in 1 year. That is another example involving simple interest. Okay, example number 2. For a problem that involves time in months. Okay, so let's find the simple interest in this example. Considering that I have a loan of 28,000, so automatically 28,000 is my P, or the principal amount. That is 28,900. What is my R? My R here is 8 over 3 over 5%. And you have to convert that one into decimal form. So let's try to do this one. So this is denominator multiplied to the whole number. That is 40 plus 3. That is 43 over 5%. And you have to divide it one. That is 43 divided by 5. That is 8.6. That is 8.6%. So since that is still in the percentage form, you have to divide it one by 100. So that is 0.086. Divided by 100, 0.086. So meaning my rate now here is 0.86. My P is 28,900. Let's find the time. The time here is 5 months. So what if the time is in 5 months? Therefore, what are you going to do? You have to divide this one by 12. 5 over 12. Again, why 12? Simply because we have 12 months in 1 year. So therefore, this is now considered 5 over 12 years. Okay, so that's how everything goes. You already identified the important elements, the P, R, and T. After that one, we are now ready to solve for our simple interest. What is again the formula? That is I PRT. What is my P here? My P here is 28,900 multiplied to my R. My R here, we already converted this one into 0.086, and I have to multiply that one into 5 over 12. Okay? So after, same thing, same process that we did in my previous example, you have to multiply everything. So, using my calculator, 28,900 multiplied to 0.086 times 5 divided by 12. So meaning the answer now here is 1,035. So 83333 convert or round it off to the nearest hundreds. That is 83. Therefore, the simple interest amount now is 1,035.83. Okay, so same thing. That's how problems works involving time in months. That's example number 2 for time in months. Okay, so in my previous examples, we already solved when the time is in years and when the time is in months. What if the given is the time is in days? Meaning, you're going to solve the simple interest given that the time is in days. Example, I borrowed 35,000 at the rate of 8% for 25 days. Meaning, how am I going to solve that one? Involving time is in days, meaning the time given is days, you have to consider just one. You have to consider is the problem deals with an exact interest or the problem deals with an ordinary interest. What is the difference between the two? Okay, when the problem of simple interest talks about exact interest, you have to use the number of days, meaning how many days in 1 year to be exact. That is 365 or 366, either of the two. You are going to use 365 for exact interest whenever that is not a leap year, ordinary year. You are going to use 366 days whenever that deals with leap year. Okay? So what about ordinary interest? When you are tasked to get ordinary interest, you're going to use this number of days, 360 days. Meaning, ordinary interest assume that there are only 30 days in 1 month. That is why the total of 360 days. Okay? If that is exact interest, you have to get the exact number of days in a year. So say for example, 365 for ordinary year and 366 for leap years. Okay, so we have to consider this one in solving number days in a simple interest. Again, exact interest deals with 365 or 366 days. Ordinary interest deals with 360 days only because in ordinary interest, it assumes that there are only 30 days in 1 year. 30 days in each month times 12, that is 360 days. So we have to consider this one. Okay, let's solve problems involving interest given that the time is in days. In this example, find the amount of 37,500 was borrowed at 8.5% simple interest for 120 days. Find the exact interest. Okay? So obviously, the given here is time for 120 days. So we all know that our P here is the principal amount or the amount that we borrowed is 37,500. What is my R? That is 8.5%, or that is equivalent to 8.5% divided by 100, 0.085. So this is my rate now. And what is my time? The time here given is 120 days. Okay? Take note, do not substitute 120 directly to the formula of your IPRT because it will assume that 120 is in years. Since that is in days, we have to convert it first into years. Okay? So since I have here to find the exact interest, let's assume that this year is an ordinary year, meaning non-leap year. So meaning we have to divide this one by how many? Since I am asked here to get the exact interest, meaning I have to divide this one into 365. Okay, find the lowest term of that one. That is, again, 365. Why? Because I find the exact interest. I assume that this problem is a non-leap year. Okay, so 120 divided by 365. That is, in lowest form, that is 24 over 73. So since we already converted that one, that is already in years. Okay? So again, the new thing in this example is the number, the time is in days. 365 because exact interest is what I'm looking for. So 120 over 365, the simplest form is 24 over 73. So after doing everything, same thing that we did in my previous example, we have to substitute that one in our formula. Again, what is the formula for simple interest? That is I, P, R, T. Then after that one, we have to substitute everything needed in here. Okay, what is my P? My P here is 37,500. What is my R? My R here is 0.085 and multiply to my time. The time here, as we converted this one, this is now 24 over 73. Okay? So after you multiply everything to find the simple interest amount. So let's try. Use your calculator, ladies and gentlemen. 37,500 multiply to 0.085. You multiply the numerator, that is times 24. And the product you have to divide to 73. Divided by 73. That is now 1,047. Round it off to the nearest hundreds. 0.95. Okay, so meaning this is now the simple interest that I have to add to the amount that I borrowed. So same thing. So same thing that we did, multiply everything. The new thing is that the number of the time given. Since this is in days, you have to multiply 365. Why? Because I find exact interest and I assume that this problem is a non-leap year. So that's how exact interest and the time in days works. Okay, hello again. So let's try to solve this problem. Same problem in my previous example. It is just that I have to find the ordinary interest. Why I include ordinary interest? Simply because I am dealing time in days. So that is 120 days. So same thing, find the amount of 37,500, 8.5%, and 120 days. Find the ordinary. What is ordinary interest? It deals that we have 360 days in 1 year because it assumes that we have 30 days in each month. Okay? So same thing. You have to identify your P. My P here is 37,500. My R here is 8.5%, or that is equivalent to 0.085. Okay? So the time here given is 120 days. Again, do not substitute directly 120 days in your T, simply because your formula will assume that 120 is in years. So the days, you have to convert that one into years by dividing to 360. Why 360? Because I am tasked to get the ordinary interest. Again, if that is ordinary interest, the days that you're going to use in a whole year is 360. Okay, so that is 360. So we have to find its simplest form. I believe that is 1 over 3. 120, 120, 120. So that is 1 over 3 years. It is now already in years. Okay, so again, simple interest. What is the formula? That is I, PRT. What is my P? My P here is 37,500. You have to multiply to the rate, that is 0.085, and multiply to years, that is 1 over 3 years. Okay, so that's how everything works. The same thing again and again. Simple interest, multiply everything. Okay, so that is now 37,500 multiply to 0.085, multiply to the numerator, which is times 1, and divide to your denominator, which is 3. Divide. So that is now 1,062.5. So this is now the interest added to the amount that you borrowed. So that's how the simple interest works whenever the time is in days. Again, you have to identify if it is exact or ordinary. When it is exact, you have to consider how many days in 1 year. If that is an ordinary year, meaning you have 365 days. If that is a leap year, you have 366 because the February is 29 during leap year. And if you are tasked to get the ordinary interest, meaning you assume that you have 30 days in each month, a total of 360 days in 1 year. So that's how everything works in the simple interest. I do hope everything is clear to you. Everything, if you still have hard time in understanding, you may replay again the video. Again and again, this is simple interest given that we have time in years, time in days, and time in months. So see you in my next video. Again and again, this is Sir Raubensun, your partner in learning mathematics. Before you end this video, do not forget to click the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if my video helps you. Okay, see you in my next video. Bye-bye!